Hey folks, End All Be All here, and we are back with another Conquest video this time. So we are back with a new series of Conquest with a bounty hunter theme this time, and I thought I'd make a couple of videos to talk about how we should think about this new Conquest. They have made tons of changes, and I'm not going to go through all the changes over here. I think now that Conquest has started, you might have seen a few other content creators' videos and gotten a gist of the changes, as well as having had a chance to actually go through the Conquest yourself. What I want to talk about is a couple of things, and I'll take two videos to do that. The part one, which is going to be today's video, I'm going to focus on optimizing your crate strategy because of the fact that CG has now come up with this new battle pass concept. There are, and the fact that they've made the actual conquest even more grindy. There's a there's a balance that you have to strike between refreshing for crystals and spending your own time and effort in getting the red crate or the gold crate, and buying the battle pass and easing some of your pain. So I'm gonna the first part of the video, the first part of the series, today's video, I'm gonna talk specifically about that. How should we think about optimizing the crate strategy so that you get maximum bang for your buck, so that you're able to unlock Boba the fastest that you can without losing your mind and sanity. And the second part of the video that's going to come out in the future, maybe in a 2 or 3 days time. I'm going to talk about the actual battle plan. So how do you plan your feats? What characters to take against which teams? How do you go battle by battle? And there's going to be a single snapshot similar to how I uploaded last time, which is going to be the battle feat guide for the conquest. So I want to take a little more time to prepare that, just because I want to at least have one run through of the whole zone, and then collect the best strategies from across the community, and then put that together for you guys. So that video might take 3 more days, but I plan to get it out by end of this week. So let's, without any further ado, let's move over to the video for today, which is optimizing the crate strategy. Now, one question that you need to ask yourself is how many keycards can you afford to ignore when you're doing when you're trying to go for a crate. Uh, in the new version of the Conquest, the maximum number of keycards that you can get is 662. In order to get a red crate, which is the crate number 7, you need to get 630 keycards, which means you can afford to miss out on feats and battles worth 32 keycards. But if you want to apply for the next level below crate, which is the gold level crate, you only need 533 keycards to achieve that, which means that you can afford to ignore 132 keycards or 132 keycards worth of feats. Now you can see, as you can see over here, there's a big difference in the difficulty level for number 7 and number 6, the red crate and the gold crate. And that the jump from the 6th crate to the 7th crate is basically going to mean that you need to complete every single feat or most of the important feats, which are some of them could be extremely grindy, which means that you'll have to do a lot of refreshes, not just to refresh your battles, but your stamina as well. So the jump from 6 to 7 can be highly resource intensive. And so you have to be very careful about if you want to unlock Boba in a certain amount of time, you have to think about exactly how much you're willing to invest over there. So now that we've talked briefly about the number of key cards to ignore, the two important figures to keep in mind over here is red crate, 32 key cards, the gold crate, 132 key cards, which is way easier. I'm not going to talk about the other levels because I think most people with a deep enough roster, if you're going for the hard node, you should be trying for the level number 6 or 7. If you don't have a deep enough roster, then probably it might be 4 or 5 might be your best option. But for this purpose of this video, I'm going to focus on the red crate and the gold crate, 6 and 7. Now, let's talk a little bit about the scenarios to get Boba unlocked and what are the best ways to go about doing that. There's the free option that you have, which if you don't want to buy the battle pass, you want to just go ahead and unlock Boba. What are the ways that you can do it? So if you want to do it in 3 conquests, then what you need to do is you need to go for the red crate every single time. There's no other option. If you're not going to pay and you want to unlock in 3 excuse me, in 3 conquest, you need to get 90 shards per conquest, along with the 20 shards that the scavenger gives you. So 90 plus 20 gives you 110 for each conquest, and then within 3 scenarios you will get Boba unlocked in 3 conquests. Now, in each of these cases, the blue section over here is how many key cards you can ignore to in each scenario. 32 key cards each. So that means that getting the red crate, you have an extremely slim margin. You need to spend a lot of time, a lot of do a lot of crystal refreshes and stamina refreshes to potentially get the red crate, because you don't have many feats that you can ignore in order to get there. So the resource and time investment in this particular case is going to be high. I did a rough calculation in the previous conquest. I was able to get through the full conquest and get the red crate, spending only about 800 to 1,000 crystals. This time, just judging by the amount of refreshes that people might be doing, and the number of, just because they increased the number of battles as well, 22 nodes instead of 14 nodes before. Because of all of that, my estimate is we'll probably have closer to 2,500 to 3,000 crystals. So the cost is almost tripled compared to the last conquest. So if you want to go for the red crate this time, instead of spending 1,000 crystals per conquest like you did last time, you'll probably have to spend closer to 3,000 crystals per conquest if you want to go for red crate from a free-to-play option, if you don't want to spend money to buy the battle pass. So that's obviously an extremely high resource cost, and it's going to be a time investment as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're going by the free option. The second free option is, if you're not in a hurry to unlock Boba in 3 conquests, you can delay it, maybe 4 conquests or 5 conquests. That will allow you to go for the gold box a couple of times and not have to stress about getting the red box in order to unlock Boba. So if you're not in a hurry, if you're in a TW guild which is not really as focused on TW, and you're not in as much pressure to unlock Boba right away, I would suggest, if you don't want to buy the battle pass, I would suggest going for 4 conquests or 5 conquests in order to unlock him. In these cases, you'll at least get a couple of conquests where you'll be able to take the low resource option, which is getting the gold box, 65 shards over there, getting the 20 crystals, getting the 20 shards from the scavenger, and then and then it'll also give you some leeway, because you don't have to rush and be under stress to get 32 keycards banner difference. You can afford to ignore 132 keycards, which means that your resource investment and your time investment will be way lower. So if you're going the free-to-play option and you don't want the stress of playing the conquest, then the only other option is unlocking Boba in 4 or 5 conquests. So that's a little bit about the free option. Let's talk about the Battle Pass option. Now, there are two Battle Passes, Battle Pass and Battle Pass Plus. I'm going to first talk about the Battle Pass option, the $10 option, which gives you a few extra shards. Now, in this scenario, if you buy one Battle Pass each and every conquest, it'll give you a few additional shards, depending on the box that you manage to get. So in this particular scenario, if I decide to go, for example, if I buy 3 of them, the best way to get 330 Boba shards is to go for the gold box twice and go for the red box in the third try. And the reason why I advise going for the gold box initially is because initially, when you're playing the conquest, you might not know, it's a new format, new teams, new bosses. You might not know the best way to do about things. The community is still figuring out the best ways to do it. So it's okay for you to get a little bit of a leeway in the first conquest or even the second conquest and go for the gold box there, because it'll give you a large margin to ignore a large number of feats for you to figure out exactly how best you will play before you try for the red box in the third conquest. So if you decide to buy 3 battle passes, one for each conquest, this is the best way to do it. The first couple of them, go for the gold box, and then for the third one, go for the red box and spend a little extra time and effort, and you would have got the experience by then, and you should be able to get the red box more easily. You will get exactly 332 shards of Boba by the end of the third conquest, and you should be able to unlock him. And you can see over here, the leeway that you have is immense. The first couple of conquests, you've got 132 key cards each that you can ignore, and the third conquest, it's going to be a little tight, but and your resource investment is going to be a little high, but you can probably get it done with 1,000 crystals, and 3,000 crystals. So a total 5,000 crystal cost instead of the 9,000 crystals that you have from the first free option. So that's if you buy the three battle passes. Another way to think about it is if you don't want to spend $30, if you want to spend only $20 and buy two battle passes, then the way that you would do it is in the first one you go for the gold pass and buy a battle pass. So you get 16 shards from the pass, you get 20 shards from the scavenger, 65 shards from the gold box, and you get a total of 101. So you still have 132. The first battle, your first conquest is going to be easy enough. The second and third conquest, you'll have to go for the red box. And in the second conquest, you can again buy the gold box, the battle pass, the $10 battle pass. That'll give you 20 shards if you go for the gold box at that time. And then you'll be able to get 130 shards with about a 2,500 to 3,000 crystal investment. Similarly, in the third conquest, this is the one that you don't buy the the battle pass, and you'll have to basically spend 3,000 crystals to get about 90 shards from the red crate and 20 shards from the scavenger. That'll give you exactly 110 in the third conquest to give you a total of 341 in order to unlock Boba by the time the third conquest gets over. And it gives you a reasonable amount of room, about 200 key cards you can ignore throughout all the three conquests. Not as much as the 300 key cards that you can ignore with the three battle pass options, but it's a little better. There's unfortunately there's no way in which you can get one battle pass and get easy mode anywhere in order to unlock Boba shards. Even if you get one battle pass for in one of the three conquests, you still have to do three red crates throughout in order to unlock Boba by the time the third conquest gets over. So the only options if you buy the $10 battle pass is either buy two and then you have to do two red crates, or buy three and then you just have to do one red crate. Those are the two options that you have if you want to buy the $10 battle pass. Now, very briefly, let me talk about the $30 battle pass. This one, in my opinion, is just not worth it because the $30 battle pass is only going to give you shards of Boba in one conquest, and the other two you don't really get the shards. So in this scenario, for example, if you go with the $30 battle pass in the first conquest and you decide to go for the gold pass, the gold box, you'll get 130, you'll get 101 shards, 132 key cards. So that's going to be a low intensive conquest. But in the other two, because you don't have the battle pass, you still have to get the red box over there, and you have to spend a lot of crystals, 3,000 each over there in order to get it. So the battle pass, you're spending $30, but you're really not getting much out of it because the other two conquests, you're not getting any extra Boba shards from the battle pass, and you still end up short by about 321. So you spending $30 is not enough for a battle pass. You have to spend maybe on another battle pass plus, or maybe another regular battle pass to in order to bridge the gap to get to the 330 shards that you need for Boba. So I wouldn't recommend the Battle Pass Plus. Yes, it does make your life easier in one conquest by the increased stamina refreshes and all of that. But in general, the value is very low. If you have to spend $30, I would rather have you spend it across three conquests in order to that will basically allow you to get the 330 Boba shards, and it allows you to play two of the three conquests in easy mode rather than here where you still have to play at least a couple of conquests in hard mode. So that's basically the overall the main different scenarios that you can use to get Boba unlocked. Me personally speaking, I don't think I'll go with the free options. The resource cost is pretty high out here. I don't want to spend that much time or crystals refreshes in order to get it. I have a very limited supply of crystals that I use for very specific things, and I don't want to blow it all away. 9,000, 10,000 crystals just on these three things. So I might go with the $10 battle pass option, either the buying two battle passes or three battle passes. So either one of these two options in the middle, I might go for them. I think what I might do is just go through my first conquest with the battle pass and get the gold pass just to get a sense of how things are. And if I feel that I've achieved enough, knowledge and enough experience in order to be able to red pass the other two, then I might just go for the second option over here. That might be what I might be inclined to do. So spend $20, two battle passes, do the first conquest in easy mode, the other two conquests in intense mode, and get Boba by the end of three conquests. That's going to be my plan. All right. So now that we've talked about the scenarios, before we end the video, I want to talk quickly about the hard path. This is something which is new in this conquest as well. The developers have mentioned that there are some paths that you can take which allow you to get access to an additional shop, either an additional scavenger node or an additional shop where you can buy these data disks. So there's a specific path that you have to take, and it's the same path across all the five sectors. What you need to do is the first, and there are certain nodes. You're not. It's not that you're locked out of the node once you deviate from the path. There are four places where you can get back on the hard path. There's right at the beginning. There's the quarter point and the midway point, and then at the three-quarter point is where you can go and get on the path again, the hard path. As far as I know, the battles itself are not more difficult in the hard path. It's just that you don't have a choice. You just have to move in one particular direction. So you lose flexibility. But as far as I know, and as far as what I've played, there is no extra difficulty in the battles. It's just a regular battle, but you just have to follow that particular path. So the way that you do it is pretty straightforward. When you start off, it's in the top. The second one is in the bottom. Third one is in the top, and the fourth one is in the bottom. So even if the path is not clearly marked out in the map itself, as long as you know which part of the conquest map you're in, if you take the northern path in the first part, second part you take the southern route, third part take the northern route again, and fourth part take the southern route, and then you'll be assured of the extra store where you can get your stuff. So quick note about the hard path. All right, so that's all that I had to cover in this video. A quick reminder, if you want the live version of this guide, I will be updating the feed guide live throughout the three conquests which will be going on. So if you want the live version of it, go to the Gambit Discord server and go to the resources section. There's a conquest guide section over there where I'll be uploading all of my videos as well as the latest version of the conquest guide. So be sure to check that out over there. I will leave a link down below to the Gambit Discord server as well. All right, so that's all I had. Watch out for my next video in 3 or 4 days where I will give a comprehensive view of all the battles, my recommended teams and characters to take in for each of those in order to minimize your pain for conquest. So watch out for that video. Until then, all the best and happy gaming.